ASMR video. Now, in today's video, I got a story time for y'all. And basically, I've been wanting to tell this story for a long time. And I just didn't know when the right time would be. So, yeah. So, basically, I'm gonna I'm not gonna name people. I'm not gonna be name dropping anyone. But there's people in my family, I guess you could say. But basically, I'm gonna get right into it. So, one day after school, I think I was around like 12 years old at the time. I was in 7th grade, and I was just getting off school, and I had like 20-30 bucks to spend at the moment. So I was like, oh well, I'm gonna go get like a bag of chips or something like that. So there was a Circle K like right down from my middle school when I was going there. So I would just be like, alright, bet. Like, cause I had money, I was like, alright, bet, I'm gonna go to like Circle K, get a bag of chips, and then go back. And I didn't want to ask like my dad or like someone, my stepmom. I didn't want to ask her because I knew they were gonna say no. Like, I really knew they were gonna say no. And also, by the way, if my dad or my stepmom sees this video, I'm never taking this video down. I'm gonna be honest. But it's that. Sorry, I just had to put that disclaimer right there. But basically, so I know she wasn't gonna say yeah. It's my stepmom. I knew she was gonna say yeah, right? So I was like, alright. The excuse that I was gonna make was I had to use a bathroom after school. Because I didn't like using it during the day, during school hours, because there'd be mad people in the restroom. Like, imagine going and wanting to use a restroom really bad, but there's like 10-20 people in there just staring at you as you walk in. And I was like, alright, nah bro, I'm not about to use the restroom when there's like 100 people in here. So basically, I left the bathroom. I decided to make that excuse of using the bathroom after school, which I didn't actually need to use a restroom. It was just an excuse to go to Circle K to buy a bag of chips. So basically, and also, by the way, I did this 2 times in a row, and I'm gonna go through it all. So, I had a scooter at the time, so I rode it home. You feel me? It was some it wasn't the best quality scooter, but it got me around. So I read that home, and then I went up the hill because we had a steep hill when I was coming home from school. We had a steep, like, big hill that I had to go up to get home. So I was just like powering through it and stuff like that. And then basically, I got home and they asked me like a question like, oh, why are you back so late? And I was like, oh, I used the restroom. So everything said and done. Boom. The next day, school ends, right? Next day, school ends. It's an early release day. Sure, y'all got plenty of those if y'all could do like public school and stuff like that. So we had an early release day, right? So basically, I got out of school, and what did I do? I had like 20 bucks saved left. So, or like 10 bucks maybe. I'm not sure, maybe more, but I had some money saved up, so I was like, alright, bet, I'm gonna go over to Circle K again and then get a snack, because I was like, yo, I'm snacked out. I was like, yo, bro, I can get a snack twice in a row. I'm gonna go do it, obviously. So basically, I went and to Circle K and I went and got another snack. So this day was different because I went home and it was just my stepmom there. So it was just my stepmom there, right? So basically, I went inside and she was asking me questions like, okay, why were you actually back home so late? Like, she was asking me questions, and I was like, this time I lied a bit. I don't know what I said, but I think I said I used the restroom again, and I guess she clocked that. I don't really know. And she knew that I was up to something. I don't know what she thought I was up to, but I'm gonna talk about it in a second. But basically, she thought I was up to something. So I told her okay, what I really did is I went to Circle K and I went and bought a bag of chips. So she was thinking that I was doing whatever she thought I was doing, which I'm gonna get into. was like, okay. So I went to my backpack and I showed the bag of chips. And what did she do? She went to even more conclusions, and she started calling out my dad. She started throwing out like, all right, I'm gonna go to like Circle K and I'm gonna go check the cameras and make sure you didn't steal, because I told her I was with someone from my school or whatever, right? And I went there and I didn't actually end going inside with him. Like, he was just walking into the store when I walked out, you feel me? But so like she went, and because she thought I stole a bag of chips, she thought that I stole stuff when I literally showed her my wallet, right? You feel me? So yeah, she literally thought that I stole something. So I showed her my wallet, I showed her the bag of chips, all right, and then she was still throwing that out there, like, okay, I'm still gonna go check or something like that. So she ended up calling my dad, right? And like, this was a huge thing for like no reason. I was just like, and honestly, I wish I had asked, you know what I mean? But I genuinely don't feel like they would have like told me that I was gonna be able to do it. And I was like, well, I really want a snack, so I was like, you know what, might as well do it anyway, right? You feel me? So she thought that I was smoking, that tree, you feel me, if you know what I mean. Not gonna say it on here because it's YouTube, but she thought that I was smoking, or whatever, and I was hanging out with bad people or something. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but like, you get what I mean. So feel me, like, so that was all bad in itself. And then she ended up calling my dad. My dad came home, and then he was super mad for no reason at all. Like, and I ended up getting grounded for 2 whole weeks. Literally, couldn't watch TV. Had to read a book. Literally, it was just go to school, read, and go to bed, or homework, whatever. You feel me? Or going outside. You feel me? But that's about it. I can only go in my backyard. I wasn't able to go out front and ride because my stepmom didn't trust me somehow, because I was 12. Basically, I was grounded for 2 weeks, couldn't do nothing, right? So that already sucked. And then they ended up talking to my mom, right? And sorry if I keep on repeating myself and I keep on going on a ramble and stuff like that, but I just have to touch down on this, I'm not gonna lie. But they ended up calling up my mom, you feel me? And I already knew my mom wasn't gonna be mad. Like, I already knew, like, it wasn't gonna be that big of a deal. So yeah, that was pretty bad in itself, you feel me? But yeah, so my mom ended up answering the phone, you feel me? I think it was by the end of the week. My mom pulled up to the curb and my dad went out to talk, and I was still in the garage getting my stuff, and my stepmom was like smiling, being like, oh yeah, like, your mom is gonna be, like, mad, just being weird, just being like, just a weird person in general, you feel me? But my mom didn't care, because my mom already didn't like this person, right? Because my mom has already had a bunch of problems with this person in general. So basically, yeah, so that's how it all went down. My mom ended up not grounding me at all, even though my dad suggested her to somehow. They were expecting me to get grounded 2 weeks at their house, and then another 2 weeks at their house, which is a full month, by the way. That's a full 4 weeks. That's a month, right? And I was like, oh yeah, my mom's not gonna ground me for that long. She didn't ground me at all. She was just like, yeah, like, I understand, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the story time, man. Definitely a pretty crazy one, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's just the way everything went down, in my opinion. It's just like, it just didn't need to happen the way it did. And so the fact that it did happen the way it went down is just kind of crazy to me. Like, it really isn't that deep at the end of the day. Like, I legit went to the store to get a bag of chips. Like, come on. You feel me? Like, it ain't that deep at the end of the day, so, you feel me? But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. That will be the end of this story time. Sorry if I didn't change the trigger. I was just fully locked in on telling the story, and sorry if I stuttered a bunch or, kept on repeating myself. I just had to make emphasis on the stuff that actually, like, was crazy about this story time. But I do hope you guys did enjoy, and let me know down in the comments if you guys want more story times, because, like, been so many story times, bro. Like, there's been so many times, bro. So just say the word, bro, and I'll put one out. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one.